ahead of the 2020 general elections. This morning, we're going to discuss the activities of the National Grand Coalition, the NGC party, preparation, controversies surrounding the leadership of the NGC party. Good morning. And we have with us in the studio Saidu Abbas Bangra, who is the National Public Relations Officer, if I get that correct. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. I'm Saidu Abbas Bangra. Yeah, I'm the National Publicity Secretary.
Okay, thank you very much.
Saidu.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So let's get into, the NGC party. The NGC party was once seen as the third force, alternative to the APC and that of the SLPP. Do you believe the party has maintained that level of identity, or has it been swallowed up by the dominant parties, which is the APC and that of the SLPP?
Yes, and I want to make this categorically clear that the NGC still maintain its status as one of the strongest opposition party in Sierra Leone, and we are doing our work as opposition party to ensure that we achieve our aims and objectives for which the party was established for.
How does the NGC party define it ideologically today? Is it progressive? Is it centrist? Is it liberal? How does the NGC really define its ideology?
We believe in progressiveness, and that is why we always move forward more rejuvenated in ensuring that we support development, in ensuring that we serve as an opposition that believes in progress and an opposition that is very constructive. When we are doing our activities and when we are doing opposition work, we ensure that we maintain objectivity, which is key, and we always put Sierra Leone first.
Saido, quickly before Kurma comes in, let's get to really understand the state of affairs. The internal structure of the NGC at the moment.
Well, at the moment, the internal structure of our party from ward level, ward executive committee, constituency, district, and region, as well as national officers, we are fine, and all executive are intact, and they are working assiduously to ensure that they perform the task as enshrined in the constitution of the National NGC party. We also from time to time have our regular meetings and do updates from various strata, ranging from ward executive onto regional executive in that kind of chronological order.
So Saidu, the opinion of many people and from even the premises laid by my co-host seem to paint a picture as if the NGC is organizedly disorganized. Saidu, what will you say to say?
Well, I would differ. That is their opinion. But we've just had a convention, and in December 2024 in McKinney, 15th of December, we elected executive members to occupy certain positions for those who have left the party, and also where we took certain decisions. One is to expel certain members who we consider as political subterfuge and renegades who are in the habit of achieving their own selfish desire regarding what they intend to do as members, previous members of the NGC. So we took a bold step to ensure that we expel them after following procedural processes, due processes of the NGC internal party constitution, and making sure that we maintain a sense of discipline as we always been known for in the NGC party. So basically, the NGC party, we have, as of now, a leadership that is robust, a leadership with that kind of vision to take the party where it was. We will accept that for far too long previously we were having, media engagements, which we hope to resume very soon. By next month, we will resume a monthly media engagements, monthly press briefings to the public using AYV media, television, and other radio, television, as well as social media, to sensitize the public, to educate the public on certain issues in terms of economy, in terms of the government, and what the NGC party is doing.
You cited a very strong word at some point in time. You say the party is looking at ways, the party has sought out ways to kick out people they considered renegades of the party. Who are these renegades within that were part of the NGC?
Well, we have 5 members that were expelled from the party, and due to anti-party activity, they breached the party constitution, they violate the internal disciplinary structures, and also they sway away from the ideology and principles of the NGC party. And these members are Jesmed Suma, who was acting as chairman of the NGC party. We have Wilfred Almami Wise, and who was the PRO, acting as the PRO of the NGC party. And we have Juma Tarawali, also a member of the NGC party, Mohamed Alpha Jallo, and Fode Mohamed Kebe. 5 members were expelled from the party. And this decision came as a result of anti-party activity. We followed due processes. Firstly, they were suspended, and at the National Delegates Conference, the membership, the Delegates Conference, decided to expel them from the NGC party.
Is that enough reason to classify these members who've given their all to the party as renegades at this moment? When in actual fact, within the NGC, we've seen the face of the NGC is now a bona fide member of the SLPP in the person of Kande Koleyim Kela. Is that enough reason?
Yes, and we believe that whatever agreements we had with the SLPP, right, must be respected until such a time when the National Delegates Conference will decide otherwise. We had this alliance with the SLPP party. We accepted.
That is benefiting a few.
We accepted. It's benefiting the country as a whole. We are glad, and we have no regret about that, joining alliance with the SLPP, because we are seeing now what is happening in our country in terms of infrastructural development.
Where is that infrastructure?
I will come to that. Let me just take you through.
Quickly.
Yeah. And so they are deviating. One of their reasons is that they are not seeing any benefit coming from the alliance. So they tend to misrepresent the party we love so well, the NGC party, and it's the decision of the National Delegates Conference, like I said earlier, to decide otherwise. But as of now, we are in the alliance. So if they are coming out of the alliance, deviating the party's decision, violating the National Delegates Conference decision, we see that as a recipe for distraction, a recipe for violence, and even chaos. And it is not good for the NGC party, which people know. We are disciplined party, we are peaceful, and we are respectful. So any deviation from that principle, we take it as an insult. That is why we call them renegades. They are of the opinion that we should come out from the alliance and join other political party, their preferred political party, probably APC. Then we say, no, we cannot work like that. We have respect for what has been signed as an agreement, even though many are looking at it that the NGC has not yet fulfilled certain benefits or received certain benefits from the alliance.
As I allow
but we
Marina,
believe that we always put the country first, we always put nations first.
Saidu, as I allow Marina to come in, you did mention that your colleagues are expecting a situation to have joined another party, taking into cognizance they are not benefiting. That might sound as your opinion, because we know if they were there, they would have, they will have said the contrary to SIM. But again, at this moment, do you think, taking into cognizance the alliance you signed, do you think the NGC has had an even share on the plate of governance in country?
Well, the alliance is not about having a lion's shares or a plate of share, right? The alliance is coming together as a political party. If you look at the agreement, it is crystal clear. We are joining forces together, right, to come and govern. We are providing support from the back. We are providing consultancy advice. We are providing certain requisite knowledge to certain ministries, to certain departments. I believe we are doing our own best in supporting the government. But if people are looking at it that because we join an alliance, we should have our own lion's share, then that is far away from the alliance. And I will say crystal clear that few people are benefiting from what is expected from the public. But as a party, we appreciate the alliance because we are now in governance. And we believe that if this alliance continues, there is a lot that Sierra Leone will benefit from. That is why we don't put position before, we always put the country first.
I'm happy that Koroma did mention about, the role that NGC plays in terms of governance. Now, like I did mention earlier, the NGC party was once considered to be the third force, in terms of our political spectrum. Help us understand the current nationwide membership strength of the NGC party, and how effectively, have the NGC party been represented in terms of constituencies and also on district level?
And after having gone through the 2018 elections, the 2023 elections, we came to better understand that few people, have their own dissenting views, others left the party. We ensure that we have strict and meetings. We are national officials upon themselves to each district. We went to each district, know what's wrong, we are go what happened to certain results, and had a lot of faith. So we came back and strategy have been filled. So I can say now we have a comprehensive data analysis for our regional executive committee, national office. So the end is fully in teams of it that a political party would have. So we have about 1,000 membership, executive membership all over the country, because each ward you have 18 executive members, and you have district constituency executive members, 18, 18, 18. So all that put together, we have close to about 1,000 just executive members. And we have enrolled membership drive, you know, to certain districts, and motivating members, motivating the public to join the NGC party, and people are coming up. That is why by next month, we will kickstart the media, robust media engagement, like what we are doing, sensitizing the public about certain bills, about certain acts, and what we see different from other political parties. So far so good. The NGC is doing well. We have a visionary leadership as of now by the name of Mohamed Kouma, who is the chairman and leader of the NGC party. And we have a dynamic secretary general, Amadou Sharif, who are doing extremely well.
We'll come to talk about the leadership of the NGC party, but quickly, in 2018, the NGC polled over 6% of the national vote, but in 2023, its visibility becomes minimal. I mean, like I did mention, everyone was looking forward to the NGC party, most especially young people, you know, cut across the country. And it seems as if the NGC has lost that sort of momentum. Well, maybe because a lot of people fell in love with the ideology of the former chairman, who happens to be Dr. Kande Kole Yumkela. Is it because, you know, he's no longer part of the NGC party that's the reason why the party has lost that sort of momentum? Or does this have to do with some internal deficiency, if I may put it that way?
Well, we have internal factor, we have external factor. And the internal factor, people who we are, we should and they left the party. That is one internal factor. When it comes to the external factor, we see most times in are bribed. The boss and a lot of other most if stations that's kind of to reach people tend to see
the institutions average of their programs like we're doing at the moment.
Yeah, AYV is one. We'll be having monthly press,
of which I'm very much aware of. But when you say the media was muzzled, it seems like the black. Maybe you may want to speak quickly as Nkoma.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that the media is one of the key pillars if democracy is to strive, right? And if you are not seeing more of media activity, might happen. Is on social media, but you have media institutions and that kind of confidence and that media people in time, and when they are not there, so that brings about that kind of, you know, thought that the media was muzzled to certain extent of they are not being seen, or the ability not being present in certain.
We'll soon talk on the National Coalition Party. Again, you did chiefs as well as political parties were bribed. Who bribed them? Who bribed these paramount chiefs and the political parties?
And I will not dilate into that issue much because you are asking me now to produce evidence. But in Sierra Leone...
Because they say who has that must prove.
Yes. So in Sierra Leone, we systematically 2018 from 2018 elections 2023 elections, those political parties that have that financial capacity, you know, to do certain things, the habit of influencing authority, not referring to the at all. Other political parties who are in the habit of doing that. Okay, so the NGC believe that it's ideology based. You must preach to the people so that the people will understand and the people will ensure they entrust responsibility to you so that the party will go ahead in shaping the will of the people. That is what we believe. But in elections, certain elections, if you don't have that, if you don't have the financial muscles, you don't have that kind of financial capacity, I mean, to do a lot of odd things that we consider inimical, we consider not fit for democracy, then at the end of the day, you will not have the vote.
I
This
remember,
is just sad reality.
I remember on 1st of February 2023, the chairman and leader of the NGC, former chairman and leader of the NGC, Dennis Bright, resigned from his position as chairman and leader of the NGC. And just this morning, you've also echoed names within the NGC whom the NGC considered not fit for purpose, as according to you. How weak is the internal redress mechanisms of the NGC? More so when other parties are looking for members and the NGC seem very busy kicking out its members who stick their neck for the party over time. How weak is the internal redress mechanisms of the NGC?
Yeah, we have a very strong internal redress mechanism.
That seems not the case with the realities.
Yeah, because a lot of issues has been addressed. A lot of members have done something wrong, but they go through the internal redress mechanism and the issues were resolved amicably. Some were punished, maybe suspended for a while, and they came back. Yeah, but for these 5 people that the party expelled, it is different. First, they failed to avail themselves with the internal redress mechanism provided by the Constitution. Right? They took the party to court at the time when we were going for a national delegates conference to stop the party from doing its activity, what is constitutional, what is mandatory. Yeah, so we see it as an insult and a blatant deviation from the Constitution itself. If them going through the internal party redress mechanism, if the internal redress mechanism fail, the next step is to go to our moral guarantors, the PPRC, to resolve certain issue. They went straight to the court, and the court slammed injunction. The party has its lawyers, a very good law. They look at circumstances, at the issues, and the injunction was removed. We wasted a lot of attention. It would have been on day, money, and it was postponed to the next day. Right? A lot of resources went down the drain. And because of that kind of act, if you have any issue, if you fail to adhere or fail to go through the internal redress mechanism or go to PPRC, then you have different intention.
But according to Gisme the other day, he did say he doesn't trust the the body that was set up to look at issues regarding internal party disputes, more so when he believed that body has been compromised. And that's more the reason why he himself doesn't even believe the PPRC but went to court.
That is not true. That is not true. PPRC is a moral guarantor. We have sober-minded people that constitute this internal redress mechanism. Some are in the Elders and Trustees Council. So if you say you did not, you do not have trust in the internal dispute mechanism, then it is not true. JESMED had wanted to have his own way by stopping the party from doing its activities, stopping the party from holding its national delegates conference. And we have to do a lot of things to progress. We are approaching the 2028 elections. We need to start our primary elections. By December, this executive body mandate will elapse. And after which, we will begin the primary election. Before that date, say by November, October, November, we'll start the primary election from ward executive level, seeking fresh mandates from ward executive level, from onto constituency, onto district, onto region, as we are doing. So basically, what JESMED is saying is not true, it's baseless, and that is why the PPRC wrote, because even the convention, the PPRC witnessed, other political party went to the National Delegates Conference, and they saw all the process. It was democratic.
We had wished JESMED Suma and the other members highlighted on that notice were in the studios this morning to respond to the most of the submissions you've made. But from what we've heard of recent, JESMED Suma, among the other names you've mentioned, still believe they are a member of the NGC party. As a party, do you think there is still room for compromise, just so that these members who've been expelled, who've been kicked out of the party, are embraced back into the party they love and believe in?
Yeah, the NGC party and reapply for membership. They have to take the matter off from courts, and the party will look into their concerns. The party will look into the apology letter and consider to join them again.
Quickly, when you say reapply, are they applying as fresh members of the party?
Of course, as new members of the party. They will apply as new members of the party.
Is that what the constitution of the NGC says?
Of course, yes. If you...
Would you help us with a section that speaks to same?
If, for example, section 56 of the NGC party constitution, if I'm not mistaken, that anyone who does anything that will lead the party into disrepute or public ridicule, right? As well as anyone who willfully commits any breach of the party constitution consistently and engage in anti-party activity will have some penalties. One will suspend, will reprimand, where there is a defraud, and finally we expel. So all of those processes have been met. So if they want to join the party again, they should apply as new members, and the party will consider joining them.
Saidu, as you know, we're talking around issues of preparedness. Now, with 2028 in view in less than 3 years, if I may put it that way, what is the preparedness level of the NGC party, in other words, to ensure that the NGC party does not become irrelevant?
Yeah, firstly, we've gone through and our convention, National Delegates Conference in December 15 at the Management Hall in Makeni, and we took certain resolution. And one of the resolutions that we need to fill in blank spaces, fill in positions. We did that because the National Delegates Conference has that power to fill in positions, vacant positions. Secondly, we have a new leadership now, and we have a very robust executive that is determined, ready to move the NGC party forward. And as I said earlier, next month we will start the media engagement, doing our monthly press briefings, press releases, engaging the media, and also we will engage in meeting the people. We'll start at regions. We have a dedicated team now to go through the region to see what is happening. Yeah. In terms of membership drive strategy, we have a committee already set up to see how the NGC party can mobilize as many members as possible. We will start our primaries very soon, maybe by September, October, starting from Ward Executive Committee to seek fresh mandates by electing Ward Executive Committee onto constituency, district, region, as well as national officers at the National Delegates Conference. Yeah, so we are prepared, we are determined, and I want to use this opportunity to thank most of our sponsors, most of our membership in the diaspora, because they are doing exemplary well in supporting the party to do its activity. It is not easy to do, but it is easy to say. To maintain a political party, it's something huge. Presently, we have a new office at Wilkinson Road, and we have also set up other offices, paid rent, we have office cleaners, and we are meeting PPRC criteria so as to consistently continue with the party.
Help us to understand, because you keep on emphasizing on the strong leadership or executive of the NGC party. How solid or strong is that executive, or are we also, I wouldn't want to say looking forward to see, are we looking at it like what happened, within the party, whereas the party was much more concerned on a particular charismatic leader? Because you keep on emphasizing that, now that the NGC has, this sort of strong executive or leadership. Help us understand that.
Yes, and the leadership I'm talking about is Mohammed Kouma, who is the current chairman and leader of our party. And we have also a very good Secretary General who has been consistently consistent in doing the work of NGC. We have diaspora members who have that kind of capacity, experts from different disciplines. So that is why I said we have a very strong executive who can drive change. I mean, who have the ability to move the NGC party from where it is now and to compete competitively when it comes to national elections.
What's the current strength of the NGC party, say in the provincial areas, as the NGC presence in all districts of Sierra Leone?
Not only districts, the NGC presence is from Ward Executive Committee, right? We have the structure, Ward Executive Committee, Constituency Executive Committee, District Executive Committee. We have a very comprehensive executive structure. So when it comes to strength of the executive, it is there.
I asked,
and when it comes to membership,
offices in these...
We have offices all over the districts. We have offices all over the district. We always meet PPRC requirements. We always. That is why we are different from other political parties.
In what sense?
Yeah, thank God. We have people who believe in the ideology of the NGC country force. We have people who will always support us financially from the diaspora executive, and we have other solid members who are willing at all times to support the NGC financially
But
and all its activities.
But the outcome of seem extremely different from the realities, more so with the outcome of election results. It shows that people do buy in the ideologies of the two major political parties in Sierra Leone, the SLPP and that of the APC, rather than that of the NGC.
I mean, it's a long journey. If you want to compete with NGC, with SLPP and that of APC, you must be consistent. One day, Sierra Leoneans will realize and make the change. Remember, we will do all the needful. But if people have been deceived by regions, by tribes, by color, I mean, that kind of thought mentality which they have had will be difficult to just eliminate in few years.
But that was what...
So it's a gradual process. We believe we are making inroads. And we have no doubt that by the time the people of Sierra Leone realizes the true concept of the NGC putting Sierra Leone first, they would have made the necessary decision to elect the NGC party to govern Sierra Leone.
But that was essentially what once a member of the NGC came with when we saw the NGC pulled several seats in Cambia district, largely as a result of the fact that he hailed from Cambia district and essentially speaks the language of the natives within Cambia districts and among other things. It seemed Cambia was the stronghold of the NGC. More so when my colleague did mention that the 2023 elections speaks contrary to what we all saw when NGC was indeed tagged the third force of Sierra Leone in terms of politics.
Well, the stronghold of NGC is Sierra Leone. It just happened that we have the highest seats in Cambia, but we have other councillor seats in Kabbalah, Falaba at that time. So we move on with that kind of trajectory, and we believe that the people of Sierra Leone have started realizing that they have to make another choice, different from SLPP and that of APC.
Because of time, I'd love to come in a bit. Would you agree to critics who say that the NGC party is only visible around elections, and after the elections they disappear automatically?
That is not true.
Do you agree to that?
No, that is not true. Because we are participating in governance issues, we are participating in so many activities, whether it's from the social aspect, the economic aspect. So we are not like other political parties. And like I said, by next month, you'll begin to see the media engagement, you'll begin to see a lot of activities. You must plan. If you plan properly, you will successfully implement the activities which you have planned.
Saidu, you may or may not want to agree with me, but there has been a lot of controversies, when it comes to the NGC party. And given the collapse of trust in institutions, how the NGC work towards regaining that level of trust, among its members and also the general populace? Yeah,
controversy, you cannot take controversies out from politics.
That's the daily saying that,
so
all these politicians.
It's part of politics. But with the activities we are about embarking on, we believe the people will have that kind of trust, will always have that kind of trust and confidence in the NGC party, because they see the NGC party as the party that speaks for the people of Sierra Leone. They see the NGC party as the party that informs them, that tells them the reality of things, and that educates them about certain issues which they ought to know.
Saidu, I want to put it to you that most of the offices you claim the NGC had in the provinces are now dwelling houses. Saidu, I want to put it to you that most of the offices you did mention the NGC has in the provinces are now dwelling houses.
That is not true also. Check with the PPIC. The PPRC is a moral.
It is not just the PPRC, but the
is
visibility on the
not
ground.
the visibility. I'm telling you that of late we've rented about 4 to 5 offices in different quarters. Remember, these offices are not owned by NGC. So the landlord has that kind of power to say, well, I don't need you in my premises. So what the NGC have done, we are now procuring land to build our own offices in order to avoid transfer from one place to another. In most of the districts, we have purchased land to build our own offices. But I'm telling you, the presence of NGC offices is in all of the districts. And PPRC will clarify that to you.
Lastly, from my end, Saidu, what would you say to critics who believe that the NGC party has lost that sort of credibility and trust among, you know, not just the members, you know, like the general populace, and also critics that tend to look at the NGC party as not a serious contender?
Well, I want to encourage them to continue believe in the ideology of NGC. Things have not worked well, and their expectations were watered down. But we have put mechanisms in place to do a lot of activities and to achieve our objectives. So they must have the confidence and they must have the trust that NGC is with them to achieve its aims and objectives and to shape the will of the people.
We've had a couple of messages, Saidu, that we'll have to take on our Facebook page, and we'll see ways for you to respond to those messages, and perhaps we'll continue the conversation. First of all, mine is from Mark 10 from New England Vale, who says, the Saidu, the NGC has experienced significant turmoil, including mass resignations of senior members and a disputed alliance with the ruling SLPP. What is the NGC party's current status?
And another one is from Samuel Lewis. He's saying there was an era that the NGC was a movement, but it is arguably slowly losing its relevance.
Amadou Kagbo says, the NGC is dead. Your political party's office in Bo is a dwelling house. I think the person just supports my earlier submission.
And this is from Mosdi. He's saying, as much as the betrayal of the former leader of the NGC party dented the morale of the party to an extent of no coming back, I still prefer anything or any party over these two deceptive and incompetent parties, which is the SLPP and the APC.
Mystic Dwazak says, NGC is a dead party. They came with the pretense to be genuine, creating an impression as they are the best. But in the end, 80% of them have returned back to their actual roots. Honestly, it will be difficult for Third Force to succeed in Sierra Leone political space because of the insincerity of the Third Force parties. The NGC is a clear indication.
And Edwina John saying the NGC lost momentum because it couldn't build strong nationwide grassroots structures, was resource constrained, tied its identity too much to one leader, and diluted its independent stance through the alliance with SLPP. As a result, many Sierra Leoneans reverted to the APC and SLPP rivalry, which remains deeply entrenched. The NGC lost momentum because it couldn't build strong nationwide grassroots structures. Okay, I think that was a double message.
Mohamed Ali Jallo says there are members that left the NGC who've returned back. The party is back under chair and leader Mohamed Koroma.
And Mohamed Ali Jallo says, well said, Saidu Abbas, the internal redress body is very proactive.
A lot of messages, but I seem to be having an issue with my internet.
Okay. Mohamed Ali again says the NGC, a constitutional party, just made expelled legally through the NDC. Saidu Abbas correct. And is it okay now?
No, continue please.
And Yake Kalon is saying APC versus SLPP debate again. another week, same episode. Those are the messages and we can take at the moment. You may want to quickly respond as we try to wrap up this segment.
Yes, and I'll take the first one, which says talk about significant turmoil that members are leaving the NGC party. Yes, we do agree. Members, we are leaving the NGC party, but as a result of the dynamic leadership we have now, a lot of members have returned. That is one. And it happens, like other political parties, even the APC and SLPP, you see members are leaving, and some are coming. So that is a blessing for us. Yeah, and the NGC relevance will always be at the apex of the minds of Sierra Leoneans. So in terms of relevance, in as much as we have reduced on our activities, but I will say we have not lost our relevance, because we are participating on governance issues, we are participating on social issues, and we are participating in promoting the democracy. Lastly, we have structured executive nationwide from ward level onto national officers. So with the composition of the NGC party, I will say with alacrity that the NGC structure is intact, because most of the people or members who left the party have returned. And that is a blessing for the NGC party. We've also gathered that kind of momentum to execute most of the planned activities which we have now. So I want to use this opportunity finally to encourage our membership across the country we as an executive are doing our best to achieve the said objective for which we were elected for, and that Jesmed Suma and others are political renegades and subterfuge. They should not encourage them. In any quarter, they have been expelled from the party, and the PPRC have their press release released yesterday, which states categorically clear that the chairman and leader, which they as moral guarantors, as political institution that regulates political party, is Mohamed Koroma. So the current legitimate chairman and leader, who was voted for at a national delegate conference by the delegates, members of the NGC party, is Mohamed Koroma. Alongside, I was also voted in as the public relations officer at that national delegates conference. So I want to encourage Sierra Leoneans to have hope in the NGC party that one day and at one time we will achieve our dreams. They should not renege in their efforts and in their promises. They should always continue to support the drive, the activities of the NGC party. And lastly, I want to thank the members of our diaspora for their invaluable contribution, their financial support, as well as key and substantive stakeholders in Sierra Leone who are members of the NGC party and the membership at large for their contributions in paying their monthly subscription and in giving the necessary support, logistically and financial support, to the party for its continuity.
Thank you so much, Saido Abbas Dumbuya, the National Publicity Secretary for the NGC party. Thanks for being here this morning and laying the foundation on what's really happening within the party and the plans for the party as we move towards the general elections in 2028. Yeah. Thank you. You're still watching Sierra Leone.